Hello everyone, good evening, welcome to the class. शुरू करने से पहले just please tell me क्या आपको मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है? Am I audible to all of you? Hello Shubham, my voice is audible, right? Class, is my voice audible? Okay. So a very warm welcome everyone to my class, and as you know that ICT की series चल रही है and we have covered almost every topic that is quite possible that आपको आपके एग्जाम में मिले, and basically not from net purpose बट ये जो कंसेप्ट्स हैं आईसीटी में, जो आपके कंप्यूटर के कंसेप्ट्स हैं, ये बहुत बेसिक हैं एंड दे आर आज ऑलमोस्ट और भी जो एग्जाम्स होते हैं आपके उनमें भी आपसे पूछा जा सकता है. गुड इवनिंग हरि कुमार, गुड इवनिंग. सो जो आज हमारा जो कंसेप्ट जो हम पढ़ेंगे दैट इज़ योर इंटरनेट. बट उससे पहले जस्ट लेट मी गिव अ ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन अबाउट माई सेल्फ, जो भी स्टूडेंट्स नए हैं उनके लिए. My name is Riya Rawal and I have cleared my NET and JRF both. And every day at 6 p.m. we have our classes of ICT, that is paper 1 NET. And this is the Telegram channel. You can join us here. And this is the number. If you have any query, you can just ask, call this number and clear your doubts. Okay? And for your notes, that PDF, I do upload the notes on Telegram channel as well. And if you are not on that Telegram channel, please just call on this number. Somebody will guide you where you can find the notes. Okay, so let's just see. So today we are going to cover the topic that is internet and different terms related to it. As I have seen in the previous papers, in previous paper pattern, what we can see is that they have asked computer from various internet terms, like they have given question from virus. Okay, then they have given questions related to your different computer internet terms like internet, extranet, intranet. Okay, and different terms like this. So I have tried to cover each and every term that is present in our internet theory. And as well as I have tried to cover all those basic topics as well, जो हमें लगता है कि बहुत basic है but net आपसे पूछ सकता है, so we cannot just ignore those topics. Okay, so internet वैसे तो बहुत ही basic चीज़ है and हमारी जो class हो रही है that is also happening because of internet only, but still let's give it a look कि है क्या. So internet जो है, it is a global system of interconnected computer networks that uses the internet protocol suite, that is your TCP/IP. Yesterday we have studied TCP/IP and उसमें मैंने आपको बहुत सारे protocols बताए थे, different protocols जो different layers पे work करते हैं. So internet, what basically is internet? It is basically a connection of all those systems together so that we can communicate with each other, we can share our information with each other. Right now I am sharing my information with you. That is possible through internet only. So it is a global system of interconnected computer networks that uses the protocol suite to communicate between the networks and the devices. It is a network of networks that consist of the network can be private. For example, अगर कोई आपकी कंपनी है उसका अपना नेटवर्क है तो दैट इज द प्राइवेट नेटवर्क. पब्लिक दैट इज ओपन टू ऑल. अकेडमिक कोई भी कॉलेज हो गया या कोई भी उनका अपना नेटवर्क है. देन वी हैव बिजनेस, देन वी हैव गवर्नमेंट नेटवर्क्स. ठीक है. एवरी कंप्यूटर इन इंटरनेट इज आइडेंटिफाइड बाय अ यूनिक IP एड्रेस. This I have told you yesterday as well कि every computer in network has a particular address. That address is known as IP address. ठीक है. IP address is a unique set of numbers like 110.22.33.114. They are the random numbers. They are random numbers which are grouped together to form an IP address which identifies a computer location on the network. Okay, this I have told yesterday only. So this is your internet. Then we have one term that is intranet. Now many people have confusion with this term internet and intranet. So I have I came up with a very unique way to remember it. What is that? You must have heard in your school times, on your college times, that there are inter-college competitions. You must have heard about this term, inter-college competition. So inter-college competition was held between 2 or 3 different colleges, maybe of same city, same state, like that. So if the word comes inter, it means with 2 or different networks. Internet means 2 or different networks, and intra means within oneself. So intranet is defined as a private network of computers. Just remember with this term, inter-college competition, with this you will remember कि inter means different colleges will take part in the competition. Just to remember the difference between inter and intra, because many times many people have confusion with these two terms only. Okay, so intranet is a private network of computers within an organization. When a particular organization has its network, for example, you must have seen in many big companies, they have their own networks. Okay, they have their own networks. So that is your private network. So that is their intranet with its own server and firewall. What is firewall? We'll study later. But for now, just remember, firewall is a type of a software which helps to prevent our network from any malicious or unauthenticated user. When any unauthenticated person try to enter our network or send any malicious thing inside our network, then we use firewall. Okay, so intranet is a system in which multiple PCs are networked to be connected to each other. PCs in intranet are not available to the world outside of the intranet. So what it means, suppose this is your organization. Okay, in this organization you have what you have intranet, and there are different computers in this intranet. So this intranet is just visible, or these computers are just visible to this intranet. What is happening outside this building is none of the concern of intranet. The people outside this building or outside this organization cannot use this network, which is your intranet. Okay, so this is what they have told. PCs, your personal computers in intranet, are not available to the world outside of the intranet. Usually each company or organization has their own intranet network, and members or employees of that company can access the computers in their intranet. Okay. Then we have one term, extranet. Now what is extranet? It is something related to intranet, but what is it? It is an intranet for outside authorized users using the same internet technologies. So how we can explain it? Suppose this is my company. Okay, company A. These are different systems in my company. Okay, suppose in my company I have 5 different systems, PCs. Okay, now these 5 PCs are connected to each other through intranet. Okay, this is an intranet. Now what happens? Now this is customer 1. This is customer 1. This is customer 2. Now customer 1 and 2 they are somewhere outside this organization. They are not present in the premise of this company. Okay, this is the premise of this company, or you can say this is the region of the company. Okay, now these are the company employees who are working inside this company, and customer 1 is outside this premise and customer 2 is somewhere outside. But if customer 1 and customer 2 can use this network because they are authorized to use it, then it becomes an extranet. Okay, so this is your difference between intranet and extranet. Intranet is when a company has authorized a network and only the members of that company can use that network. That is your intranet. But when we give permission, or when that company give permission to certain authorized users or customers to use that network, then it becomes an extranet. When the intranet can be used by authorized users, then it becomes an extranet. Okay, so this is what it is mentioned here. Extranet is an intranet for outside authorized users using same internet technologies. The outside users are trusted partners of the organization who have access to information of their interest and concern. It extends the intranet concept to provide a network that connects a company's network to the network of its business partners, selected customers, or suppliers. I hope this difference is clear to you between intranet, extranet, and internet. See, I have given this example as well, this figure, to clear your doubt more. This is a manufacturing company. Okay, they have this server, they have different computers. This is some company ABC and this is some company XYZ. Okay, so now what is happening? This is an intranet and they are connected with this network, intranet. Okay, and this intranet, in this intranet, XYZ company is having a server so that they can share their information with each other, and this becomes extranet. And internet is anybody can use it. There is no nothing like no restriction to anyone can use it. So this is your intranet. We can say like this ki this is our intranet. Okay, then intranet can be used by some other authorized people. If intranet used by some other authorized people, it becomes extranet, and this all comes under internet. So internet basically is a broader term if we talk in terms of internet, intranet, and extranet. Okay, so this is the difference between the three. Just remember how to internet, how you have to revise internet. Remember, with inter-school competition was used to happen between different schools. So inter means different. Okay, and intra means same. So intra means within oneself. So within a company, within an organization, if I have a network, that is my intranet. When I give access to authorized users to use that intranet, it becomes extranet. And internet is something that is used by everyone, that can be used by everyone. Okay. Now another thing that comes, web browser, or we simply call it sometimes browser. So a browser is a free software package or mobile app that displays web pages, graphics, and most online content. When we use Chrome, when we have to search anything, we use Chrome, right? Google Chrome we have Microsoft Edge. So these are the examples of your browser. So popular web browsers are like Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Safari, and many more others. So what happens is the browser software, it is written in with the help of programming languages that are HTML and XML. So HTML is hypertext markup language. I have written in next slide. And XML is extensible markup language. Okay, so coding is done in these two with the help of these two computer languages, and they are converted so that it becomes into a human readable document. So web browsers display web pages, and each web page has a unique address called a URL. These are the different, I hope this slide is visible to you. These are different your web browsers like Firefox. Then we used to have Chromium. Then there is Google Chrome. These are some basic, we use it very often. Firefox. then Google Chrome, then Internet Explorer, then Opera, then we have Safari. Okay, so these are different types of your web browsers. Now, what is a web page? A web page is what you see in a web browser. Now, suppose you opened your Google Chrome, okay, and then you search something. So now what happens is, now you have just wait, you opened your Google Chrome, okay, this is your Google Chrome. Now this is your Google Chrome. Your Google Chrome is your web browser. Okay, then you want to search, suppose you want to search for NTA NET. Okay, so there is a bar like this where you enter information like www.ntnet.nic.in, something like that. Okay, so this is your URL. That is your uniform resource locator. And then a page will open of NTA, that we say that is the home page of NTA website. The page will open. That page will be your web page. Okay, so browser is the one where you type and find the information. URL is the address, you can say, basically where that page is located, or the name of that page you want to search for. Please explain. I'm explaining in English only. I maybe because thoda beech mein ho raha hoga, so I'll try to switch, not to switch in Hindi. Okay, and the thing that will open will be your web page. So this is what they have mentioned here. A web page is what you see in a web browser when you are on the internet. You may see text, photos, images, diagrams, links, advertisements, and many other things like this. For example, I have taken here, this is a web page of a particular school. I don't know where it is. Valley Springs School. Okay? So what happens is, if in Google Chrome, when you will search for Valley Springs School, this page will open. So this is your web page. Okay, and then URL means uniform resource locator. Just remember this abbreviation, uniform resource locator. I write it here also, so that if anybody has any problem. Uniform resource locators are the web browser address. Yesterday when I was taking my class, I mentioned that we have a thing, I don't know if you remember or not, if it is used to convert the IP address to name, right? I hope many of you must have remembered this, that it is used to convert the IP address, right? It is DNS, domain name system. So what happens is, each and every web page, each and every website has its address, okay, IP address. So it we convert it into name with the help of DNS. What happens is, here we are writing http://www.google.com. okay, but what happens, Google has itself an IP address. It is having its IP address, and you can write Google, no problem, but computer will search with the help of that IP address. Okay, so with the URL, you can locate and bookmark specific pages and files in a web browser. Now, what is the format of URL? http www.examplewebsite.com. Okay, but many times we just only write www.examplewebsite.com. We just skip this http because it automatically gets added into it. Okay, so now our URL consists of three parts. What are those three parts? First is your protocol, your hypertext transfer protocol. Okay, then we have this subdomain, then we have this domain. Domain means the host, what you are trying to find, where you want to go on that page, or what are you trying to find on that browser, that is your host. And this is your domain, top level domain, that is .com and all. We'll see now what it is. Okay, now protocol. Protocol is a portion ending in this. Just wait. Okay, protocol. What a protocol is? Protocol basically are a set of rules which help us to find a certain page So protocol is the portion ending in this after like HTTP we write now. Most web pages use the protocol HTTP or HTTPS. S is for secure. HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and S is for your secure, when you have to add security. And when do we use HTTPS? We use HTTPS whenever we have some bank transactions to do, or whenever we need security in our whenever we are using internet. In that case we use HTTPS. Okay? Then what is a host? It is a top level domain which frequently ends in .com. Sorry, I mentioned here a host. Host is this. Okay, host means what type of file you are searching for or what type of page you're looking for. For example, if I have .com, that is .communication, .net for your network, then .edu for your education, or .org for your organization. You must have noticed many times we have certain like if I talk about net, I think if it is www.ntnet.in something or like that. So in many times it is for India. Okay, similarly we have different these top level domains. They are used for recognizing what we are searching for. Like if I write .edu, it means I am searching for an education site. It is an education site. And there are not only these many host or top level domains. We have different domains like the one I mentioned .in. Okay, and file name is the file name or the page name that you are looking for. Okay, so this is your URL. Now HTML and XML. Now HTML is your hypertext markup language. It is the programming language of web pages. In this programming language, our web pages are written. HTML commands a web browser to display text and graphics in a specific fashion. We do not need to know what whenever we see a web page, we don't see what how the coding is done, how the programming is done. We just simply see what the material is and whether it is useful to us or not, and then we close it. We don't look for the programming behind that page. Okay, and what is XML? XML is extensible markup language. Just remember these abbreviations. Okay, they are important. They may come every time in each and every class. Whenever I come across any abbreviations, I just mark it up. So please try to remember it and try to write it somewhere so that आपको याद रहे. Okay, so XML focuses on cataloging and databasing the text content of a web page. Basically, these are the programming languages that are made for for a web page, how web page occurs to you, and all different functionalities that plays. When you click at a certain icon on a web page, it will take you to another web page. That is all this functionality that is done with the help of these programming languages. Now ISP. ISP is Internet Service Provider, another important term. Internet Service Provider is used to refer to a company that provides internet access to people who pay the company or subscribe to the company for the same, like your Jio. Your Jio is an internet service provider because, or Airtel, or any company that is providing you internet to surf. Okay? So what happens is we pay some amount to that company, we take the required plans, whatever data plan we need according to our requirements, and then we pay them, and then they provide us the internet. So for their customers, for their services, the customers have to pay the internet service provider a nominal fee which varies according to the amount of data they actually use or data plan. An internet service provider is also known as internet access provider or an online service provider. An internet service provider is a must if one wants to connect to the internet. So the first internet service provider was Telenet, that was introduced in 1974. Examples of major internet service providers are Google Fiber, Verizon, Jio, AT&T, and etc. There are many more like Airtel and your ID and everyone. Okay. So these are the examples of your internet service provider. Just remember this abbreviation ISP is Internet Service Provider. Not standard, nothing else. Internet Service Provider. The one who provides you the services of the internet. So Internet Service Provider. Now email. Now email is very common. We all have written at least one email in our life till now. At least I'm saying. Okay, so email is your electronic mail. It is the sending and receiving of typewritten messages from one screen to another. Basically, we have Gmail, okay? We have Outlook, then we have different like these for sending mails. So there are two terms. Whenever you must have noticed, whenever we write emails, there are two terms. There is a CC and a BCC. Though we hardly use BCC, but maybe many times we must have used CC. Now what is CC? CC stands for carbon copy. Carbon copy say what can we infer? We infer that okay, carbon copies means an exact copy. So I can say that whenever I have to send an exact copy of email to some other person, I generally mention that mention the email of that person in that CC portion, and then the email is sent. So what is written here? It is mainly used to send emails carbon copy to the recipients, and each recipient will able to see the list of all other recipients. Now what does it mean? Suppose I have a CC here and I have mentioned a few email accounts of few people, like something like abc@gmail.com, okay, and I have written xyzabc@gmail.com. Now what is all this? Is the email accounts, okay, and I have mentioned them in CC. So now what it will happen is कि suppose I was sending this email to any person, to A. I was sending this email to A. Now I have mentioned ABC and XYZ in CC. So what will happen is this email will be transferred to ABC as well and will be received by XYZ as well. And they both can see that each other names have been mentioned in that email. That ABC will know कि okay, apart from me, this email has been sent to A and XYZ as well. And XYZ will be able to see that okay, apart from me, this email has been sent to A as well as ABC. So this is your CC, carbon copy, that each recipient will know to who other people this email has been sent. Okay. Now what is blind carbon copy? Now we can see blind. Blind means recipients cannot see each other. They don't know कि किस किस को we have sent this email. So it is mainly used to send emails carbon copy to multiple recipients, but each recipient will not be able to see the list of all other recipients. Now the difference is clear between the two. In carbon copy, recipients will know कि who are all other recipients, but in blind carbon copy you will not know कि who the other recipient is. This is the difference between carbon copy and blind carbon copy. So when we want to send email to large number of recipients, we use BCC. Okay, BCC provides privacy of each recipient because your email is not visible to any other person, as they'll not be able to see each other's mail address. It is mostly used in large organizations for sharing companies' newsletter and etc. Okay, so this is the difference between BCC and CC. Now, encryption and authentication. You must have noticed कि suppose I have a message like hello, ठीक है, and I want to send this. So for me it is a very important message and I don't want anyone else to see. So what I do is I will encrypt it. Maybe I will just reverse. I'll apply any mathematical formula on it, any algorithm, and I will just transfer it. So what happens when I encrypt or when I apply some math formulas so that I can hide my data into some meaningless data, so that only the only receiver who is authorized can use it. That means I am encrypting my data. So encryption is the mathematical scrambling of data so that it is hidden from eavesdropper. Eavesdropper means the person for who is just trying to eavesdrop, just like someone who is who wants to see your message or who wants to take that information from you, what you are sending to the other person. So encryption uses complex math formulas to turn private data into meaningless data that only trusted readers can unscramble or can decrypt. Another word for when you send a message, it is encrypt. So what it is, suppose this is a message, this is the message, okay, yahi bhejna hai, this is what I want to send. Now I applied some complex maths problem on it, something, I suppose I just reversed and I just tried 1 2 2 8 5 3 something like this. Okay, now this was my data. After the maths I applied on it, it becomes encrypted data. Okay, now I am sending it. Now it is being sent to receiver. Okay, now when receiver receives it, it will again change it. It will have that key through which it can change. It will have that key through which it can change the encrypted message. So this is known as decrypt. Now this is my decrypted message or decrypted data. So we have one term that is encryption. We have another term that is decryption. Encryption means making the data into a meaningless data, changing data into meaningless form so that nobody can understand it until unless it is the person for whom the data is meant. And decryption means just reversing the data back into its original form so that I can read it. This is your encryption and decryption. So encryption is the basis for how we use the internet as a pipeline to conduct trusted business like online banking, online credit card purchasing, etc. Now what is authentication? Authentication means it is the complex way that computer systems verify that you are who you say you are. Means you are the same person for whom this data is meant. You are not somebody who is trying to eavesdrop the data. You are the person, you are an authenticated person, and for you the data is being verified. Okay, so this is the authentication and your encryption and decryption. Now the firewall. What is a firewall? Firewall is basically a generic term to, you can say firewall, no, a wall that has been made, type of a wall. So it is a generic term to describe a barrier against destruction. In case of computing, that is in case of computer world, a firewall consists of software or hardware that protects a computer from hackers and viruses. Computing firewalls range from small antivirus software packages to complex and expensive software and hardware solutions. It depends on your need. If you are, we have seen, no, we have different antiviruses with us so that we can use them. Like they are very cheap also, and big organizations, when they have a huge amount of data and they want their data to be secured, they use expensive antivirus or firewall so that their data is safe. So all computer firewalls offer some kind of safeguard against hackers vandalizing or taking over a computer system. So this, you can say, this is your system and this is the firewall. Okay, so now this is your internet. Now from this internet, every type of information will come that will that may be harmless or may not harm your system. So now when you will have the firewall, you can accept which information you want to accept, which information you want to reject, and which information you want to drop. You don't want it anymore to enter your system. So this is the work of firewall. Okay, now what is the malware? Malware is a broad term that describes any malicious software designed by hackers. Any malicious software means, malware means anything that is designed by hackers that can harm your system. It includes viruses, trojans, keyloggers, zombie programs, and other software that seeks to do any of the following things: vandalize your computer in some way, steal your private information, take remote control of your computer for other ends, and manipulate you into purchasing something. Basically to harm you, to harm your information, to take information from you. Malware is designed. That is malicious software designed by the hackers. See, this is the example. This is a figure that is shown that your different types of worm, Trojan, spyware, phishing, virus, all are trying to enter your system. What is zombie program? Zombie program is basically a program which is which is a dead program, but when it enters your zombies, what does zombies do? Zombies are dead, but they try to eat you. So zombie program is a type of a program which has nothing of its own. It just tries to enter your system and harm your information and eat your system from inside. Okay, so it just causes it leaks your information, or or we can say it defects your system. So this is your zombie program. Not Trojan. You must have heard in ancient Greek there was what happened. A fight was taking place between, I don't know the exact terms between whom the fight was taking place, but what happened was one of the two parties, they used Trojan horse. Okay, so what they did was they made a horse, okay, and they hid themselves inside that horse. Okay, and then the ones, there were two parties. Okay, party one was inside the castle, and the one was outside. So what the outside people did was they hid themselves inside a horse, and the one that were inside, they thought that the other party has gone and now there's no war. So they thought that this horse was a type of a gift from them, so they brought it inside. They were not knowing that there was soldiers hidden inside this horse. So the name of that horse was Trojan. So this is what your Trojan virus is. It is a special kind of hacker program that relies on the user to welcome it and activate it. Okay, what it did was the people who were inside the castle, they brought the horse inside and they bought it themselves only. They thought, okay, the war is now over and that the other soldiers have gone and now the war is over. But the soldiers were hiding themselves inside this horse. That horse was known as Trojan horse. Okay, so Trojan is a special kind of hacker program that relies on the user to welcome it and activate it. Okay, Trojan programs masquerade as legitimate files or software programs. That is, masquerade means they look like they are legitimate files or some software programs. Okay, now phishing. What is phishing? Phishing is the use of convincing looking emails and web pages to lure you into typing your account numbers and passwords. Basically, it is related to some bank something. There are certain convincing looking emails you must have received in your spam folder. You must have seen some emails like you won this lottery, just enter your card number and you will win this much amount and all. So that is phishing. What it is these are the convincing looking emails and they just lure you into typing your account numbers and passwords or pins, often in the form of fake PayPal warning messages or bank login screens. Phishing attacks can be convincing to anyone who is not trained to watch for the subtle clues. Never ever share your information like this on internet, your bank information. See, this is what it looks like, a phishing. No, somebody is phishing you. Phishing in sense ki this fishes get attracted to that bait and they just get catched. So this is what happens in phishing. Now there is one thing that is virus and there is one thing that is worm. Now what is the difference between the two? So the virus needs human help to execute and spread. Worms automatically execute and spread. Virus, it attaches itself with the host and spread where the host reaches. That is, virus get attached to any of the file and with the help of that file it reaches. You must have seen whenever many times it must have happened कि जो आपकी pen drive होती है, that pen drive, so many times it gets virus in it. When you attach it to some certain system and that certain system must have been having a virus in it. So what happens is the virus get attached to your pen drive. So every time it is said that format your pen drive whenever you use it, whenever you use it from other system and all. So what virus does, it attaches itself with the host and spread where the host reaches. But it is not the case of worms. Worms don't need a host and exploit the vulnerability of a network to spread. They spread through network. Okay. Viruses destroy, damage or alter the files in the infected computer. Worms don't affect the file but increase the resource usage to crash the system or network. Virus spreading speed is slow as compared to worms. Worm spreading speed is fast and it quickly infects multiple computers or networks. ठीक? To clean the infection of virus or stop its infection, the user needs antivirus. To remove the worm's infection or prevent the infection, the user needs antivirus and a firewall. Okay, vulnerability means कि see, मतलब कि how vulnerable, how open your system is and how delicate your system is. So worms don't need a host and exploit, means worms don't need a host like in case of virus needs a host. Here in, for example, I have seen pen drive. But in case of worms can enter your system through the network and they can exploit your vulnerability, means the vulnerable means you can say no, that person is very vulnerable. That means it is very, that person is so how can I explain to you? Ki that person is so weak, you can say. Sorry, you can say weak. So it exploits the vulnerability of the network to spread, means it exploits the network to that level that as soon as it enters your network gets distorted and your information gets distorted and it can be seen by other people or it gets corrupted. Okay, so this is your worms and virus. So these are the terms that I think according to me are enough. If you study all these terms, so they will be enough for you for your internet concept. Okay, so now we have two important topics remaining. One is the number system, right, and other is your initiatives taken by the government in with the help of ICT, in the field of ICT. So these two topics each will take one day. So I think by Saturday the course of ICT will be completed. Okay, and I'm just thinking what to start next. I'll tell you whatever I'll be planning, I'll be thinking to start next. Now in paper 2 I have already completed software engineering for the people who are having paper 2 as computer science. Okay, this information is for them. So I have already completed software engineering. You must have seen different videos as well. And now I'm completing discrete mathematics. Okay, and I have started with the propositional logic in that. So whoever wants to join is welcome to join the class, and please attend tomorrow's lecture as well. Number system is very important, because number system, say they have asked previous year questions are there from number system. We'll try to solve certain previous year questions also, so that number system is not left untouched, because it is very easy. It is very easy, even though you are not from a computer science background. It is just simple maths. Okay, it is easy and you will be able to solve the question if you understand the concept very well. So just attend the class tomorrow, please. And then only initiatives will be left. These are basically your theory part, so nothing is there in it. So by that our ICT will be completed, and let's see what we'll start with the next. Okay, so everybody just take care and please study, revise the concepts, brush up the previous concepts that we have completed till now of ICT, and I just hope ki your preparation is going well. Okay, so thank you for attending the class. Thank you everyone.